try harder. So over here you will get the classes which will be 100% live classes and interactive classes where you can ask any sort of question related to the topic and you can discuss the topic uh, in the interactive classes only, and the teacher will solve all your confusion, all your doubts in the classes only, right? Secondly, we give personalized attention to each and every students of our badges, because our badges consist of maximum number of 6 students and not more than that. So this also help us to keep an eye on the student, as well as the student can ask lot of questions, lot of doubt to the teachers in the classes only, and the teacher will be able to solve all the doubts, right? Now coming to the third thing which we have, it is a very good dedicated academic mentor team we have in Swiflearn, who continuously track on the students progress. So how the students are doing in the classes, how they are performing the homework, how they are doing in the different test series, everything is tracked by the academic mentor team, and they will give you the feedback so that you can improve yourself. Okay, and coming to the fourth thing which is very important, which we have in the Swiflearn, that is we cover the syllabus as per your school examination schedule. So whatever topic you have in your school, you can tell us and we will make you prepared with those topic first, and then we will go to the rest of the topics. So this type of customer request generally we handle in Swiflearn. So these are our general features of Swiflearn. Let us now find out what are the key features of Swiflearn. Okay, so our key features are, firstly, we maintain a detailed progress report of each and every student, where you will be able to understand like how your understanding capacity is, in which topic you are performing well, which topic you will need more focus on or more improvement, so that it will help you to improve yourself more, right? Secondly, we have the Swiflearn Academic Test Series, in short, which we call as the SATs, where you will be able to perform the test and you can see what is your rank all over the world. Right now, coming to the third thing which we have, that is you can take a lot of practice test after completing each and every topic of the different subjects, and you will be able to solve all the different types of questions answers, which can include the objective types as well as the subjective types. Like the objective can include the filling the blanks, one word, true, false. It can be like match the column, and obviously MCQ, right? You get this types of question in your school exam and as well as the board exam. So you can practice all this question answer over here. And we also have the subjective test for your school examination, where you will be able to write down the answer along with the diagram, graph, chemical equation, whatever is needed. And we have a very good strong team of teacher who will be able to see your answer and give you the tips where to improve, or what are the keywords which should be there in the answer, and how to improve the answer so that you will not miss any one mark from there. Okay, so it will help you to practice more and improve, and that is how you will score more in the board exam as well as the school examination, right? So these are the key features which we have in Swiflearn. So never miss the classes. Please book a free trial class and experience all these features with us. Please learn with us, and as you already done this, I already know, and I'm telling it for those who have not subscribed our channel, that is, please subscribe our channel in YouTube and press the bell icon so that you will never miss any of the updates of the upcoming sessions of Swiflearn. Right? So please stay with Swiflearn, like, comment, and share with your friends and family members. Okay, now let us move on to the topic. As you already know that today is the second session of the topic light. The light which you have in CBSE class 8th syllabus. Right, so you have already studied about the light. What is a light? It is the form of energy which help us to see everything. You already know a lot about the light, right? You have also studied about the reflection in the previous class, right, in the previous session. Yes, so this light is very common to you, and from class I can say 5, 6 and 7, right? So we will study more about the light in class 8. Okay, so let us see what we will study today. Today mainly we will focus on the laws of reflection, which we have already done in the previous session. We will just revise it, and along with the laws of reflection we will see how reflection takes place in the regular surface and the irregular surface, or we can say the smooth plane, or how reflection happens in the rough surfaces, right? So this will tell you about the regular reflection and the irregular reflection, or the diffuse reflection. We will study about them. Then we will focus on the luminous and the non-luminous object. There are various objects you can see around you also. If you look after in the room where you are sitting, you can see various objects are there. For example, your phone is there, your diary, your notebook, your pen, paper, table, laptop, everything is there, right? Yeah. So among them, which are the objects which are luminous, means which can emit their own light, and which are the objects which are non-luminous? We will study about them, right? The example as well as the definition. Then we will study about the multiple image formation, how the multiple image or infinite number of images can be formed. Okay, that's very interesting. You can do it in home also. You can make the kaleidoscope also. That is a beautiful device which I will tell you how to make, and it gives a lot of beautiful patterns. So mainly we will study of that about that also. And finally we will study about the phenomena of dispersion of light, where the white light, the color of the sunlight, and how it gives you the different lights we will study, right? Hi Aditri, how are you, beta? Good afternoon. Okay, so these are the different topic of discussion which we will study today. So let us start with the laws of reflection. So let's recall this one. As you have already studied what is the law of reflection, that we have seen the reflection on the plane mirror. We have seen this is the mirror, yeah, the plane surface. There are the light rays which are coming from the source of light, that is the incident ray. Okay, so as I have already mentioned in the previous session, that we cannot just see a ray of light. Always we see the beam of light, that is the collection of the ray of light. Okay, it is not possible to see only one ray of light, but to simplify the concept, we are talking about the ray. Okay, like the incident ray, reflected ray. Okay, we are just making it very much simple to you, right? Okay, now let's find out. This is the incident ray that is coming from the light source and striking on the plane mirror, right? Now after striking back, after the bouncing back, there is a ray which comes to our eyes so that we can see everything around us. That ray is known as the reflected ray. Fine. Now coming to the normal, you already have seen that the normal is the perpendicular line. It is perpendicular to the plane of the mirror, right? So now when the normal is standing in between the incident ray and the reflected ray, okay, so they are forming two angles, right? There is an angle which is formed in between the incident ray and the normal, and that angle we can denote as the small I, and this angle is known as the angle of incidence, right? And the angle which is forming in between the normal and the reflected ray, that is denoted as small r, and we call it as the angle of reflection. Now coming to the laws of reflection, we have already studied that the laws of reflection states that the angle of incidence will always be equal to the angle of reflection. Okay, so this is the first statement or the first deduction from the law of reflection, that always the angle of incidence, that is angle I, will be always equal to the angle of reflection, that is angle R. Clear hai? Up to this much clear? And what is the second statement of law of reflection? That states that the incident ray, the normal, and the reflected ray, they all lie in the same plane. Now let me go back to the picture and let me again show you. Can you see? The incident ray, the normal, and the reflected ray all are lying on the same plane, right? So these are the two statements of the law of reflection. Fine. Now the laws of reflection are valid at each point of the surfaces. Okay, whether the surface is a plane surface or it is a very rough surface. We will see how. Okay, Now, what if a number of parallel rays incident on a surface? What will happen over here? Now look at the two pictures over here, two images which I am showing you. There is one image where the plane surface is present, right, in the first case. But in the second case, you can see that the surface is rough, right? So what will happen if the rays coming from a particular source striking on the two surfaces? Yes, what will happen to the plane surface and what will happen to the irregular surface? Can you tell me? Anybody? We can see over here how the rays will look like after the reflection. Now, when the reflected ray will go back or bounce back from both the surfaces, we will see that the reflected rays are also parallel in the first case. Okay, when it is falling on the plane surface. Fine. But over here in the second case, we can see that the reflected rays are going in haphazard direction, right? And they are not at all parallel to each other, right? Now let us find out what are the planes, right? So you can see over here this plane is acting like this, and that is why the normal will come somewhere in between this reflected ray and the incident ray. Now coming to the next ray over here, you can see that it is striking on just a point over here, right? The plane can be like this and the normal will form like this in between the incident ray and the reflected ray. So the normal is also like the perpendicular of the plane is also going some here and there, right? Coming to the third incident ray. So the third incident ray is anywhere falling in this plane, right? You can see over here if I extend the surface, right? So over here we can see that the normal is forming in between the incident ray and the reflected ray like this. Okay, and that is why the reflected rays are going here and there haphazardly. Okay, and they are forming the reflection on some other thing. Okay, now can you tell me how the image formation will take place in both the cases? Any idea? Yeah. So the image, when it will be formed after striking the plane surface, it will form properly, right? But the image which will be formed after striking the rough surface, it will be a very diffused image, very blurred image, or sometimes no image forms, right? So these are the two different ways how images will be formed in the regular reflection and the irregular reflection. Now coming to the definition of the irregular reflection, as you have already seen that all the parallel rays, when they are coming on the surface and striking back or like reflecting back from there, when it is the rough surface, they are not reflecting back parallelly and they are going haphazardly here and there, and this type of reflection is known as the irregular reflection or diffuse reflection. Clear hai? Where no proper image will be formed, or blurred image will be formed, very blurred image, because the reflecting rays are going here and there, or we can say no image will be formed properly. Fine. Now coming to the diffuse reflection is not due to the failure of the law of reflection. That is very important. You have to keep it in mind that why the image is not forming. Is it not following the laws of reflection? No, this is also following the laws of reflection, as I have already shown you that even if the surfaces are irregular, they are following that law where the angle of incidence will be always equal to the angle of reflection, and in that plane the incident ray, reflected ray, as well as the normal will lie on the same plane, right? So it is not due to the failure of the laws of reflection. It is caused by the irregularities in the reflecting surfaces. So from a proper direction, the source of light is coming and the incident rays are coming, but as the surface is up is having different ups and downs, that is the irregularity, they are going back in different haphazard direction. Okay, but all of them are following the law of reflection. Fine. Now coming to the regular reflection, as you have already seen it, you can see over here also the reflection from the smooth surface. They are like that of the mirror, which we can see. They are forming the regular reflection. Okay, we can see over here, if I draw the normal form from each of the uh, point of the incident ray and the reflected ray, we can again find out that these are the normals, which will be again parallel to each other, right? So the incident rays are coming parallelly, the reflected rays are also going back parallelly, having a the different normals just straight to all of them because of the plane surface, and image, a very clear image will be formed on the screen over here. Clear, eh? Up to this much clear? Yes? Okay. Now we have also studied about the image which was formed by the regular reflection in the mirror, right? So over here we can see, I have already explained this diagram in the previous session also. I'm repeating the same thing. That is from the point source of light where the incident rays are coming and striking on the mirror, plane mirror to be very specific. They are going back, the reflected rays are going back to our eyes so that we can see everything. You can find over here that they are making some angles, and they are like OAB are the first incident ray and the reflected ray after striking in the mirror, and OCD are the next incident ray and the reflected ray, which is going again towards the eyes. Now if we extend this AB and CD, these are the two reflected rays, when we will extend behind the mirror, we will be able to see that it seems to be formed and it seems to meet at a point, right? And that point is point I over here, and we can see over here that the distance between the OP, that is a PQ is the plane of the mirror, we can see that OP will be almost equal to PI, right? That is the plane of the mirror and this eye point. But over here it is not at all possible to take that image on the screen, and that is why the image which is formed on this type of reflection through the mirror, that will be the virtual image, right? Because in reality, if you place a cardboard behind the mirror, you will never find that image. Okay, the mirror is the opaque object. Okay, so it seems to be extend, and always whenever you will see that, it seems to be there is something behind the mirror also, but exactly that is nothing is behind the mirror, right? So the image will not be formed on the screen. And as we have already studied about the real image and the virtual image, there's this type of image which cannot be taken on a screen, cannot be formed on a screen. Those are known as the virtual image. Clear, eh? Up to this much, I guess you don't have any confusion, right? Yes, everything is clear. Okay, now coming to the next topic of discussion. Okay, so as you already know about the moon, which we can see every day in the sky, most of the days, obviously not in the new moon day only, we cannot see them. So we can see in the sky during the night time, right? So nearly everything around you is seen due to the reflection of the light. So how do we see the moon? Yes, does the moon have its own light? Yeah. No, the moon doesn't have its own light. Okay, it is the satellite of the natural satellite of our planet, as we already know, but it seems to be white in color because the light of the sun comes and falls on the moon, and then it reflects back towards the earth from where we can see the moon, and that is why it seems to be white in color. Okay, but the moon, or we can say the moonlight, right? But it is not the moon that is emitting any light, it is just reflecting the light of the sun. Okay, hi, very good, Faizan. Because of the reflection, yes, sun gave the light. Very good. So the moon receives the light from the sun and it reflects back, and it which make us to see the moon properly. And it seems to be like the moon is there and giving us the light, but it is not the light of the moon. It is the light of the sun only. It is reflecting the light. Okay. Now, can you tell me anything, another question, like we can see the moon generally during the night time. Is the moon also there during the daytime? Okay. Can anybody tell me this answer? Okay, this is a question for you, huh? Please write down the answer in the chat box. Okay, let me proceed. Chalo. So there are the different objects which we can see that they shine due to the other objects and they do not emit the light of their own, and this type of objects are known as the illuminated object or non-luminous object. Just the moon, right? For example, the moon that is actually do not emit its own light, but it shines due to the light of the sun. This type of objects are the illuminated object or non-luminous object. Clear hai? Now some objects gives their own light, like their light also fall on our eyes. That is how we can see them. Can you say what are these objects called? Yes, Faizan, yes, your answer is correct. So moon is also there in the during the daytime also, but due to the very bright light of the sun, we cannot see them during the day. Generally, we only see them during the night. Yes, but the moon is there all the time. Great, great. Chalo. So this type of objects which has their own light or give their own light or emit their own light, to be very specific, these objects are known as the, yes, luminous object. Okay, for example, you can see over here the candle. When we glow the candle, the fire gives the light, right? The fire, definitely the bulb, tube light. Okay, any other flame we can see, right? Obviously the sun, they have their own light, and these types of objects are known as luminous object, okay, which emit their own light. Okay, so I guess you have already got an idea what are the luminous object and what are the non-luminous object. Yes, for example, if you are asked, moon is the non-luminous object, okay, because moon doesn't have its own light, it is just reflecting the light of the sun. But the sun is the luminous object, or any other stars, all the stars are luminous object because they emit their own light. Clear hai? Up to this much I guess it's totally clear. Yeah, if you have any question, any doubt, please ask me in the chat box. Chalo. Now my next question is, can a reflected ray be further reflected if incident ray on another mirror? Yes, if you place the two mirror like this, yes, just like we can say the two mirror is taken like this, inner surface of it is reflecting. Okay, so can we see more reflection over here after the ray striking on another mirror? If it goes to the another mirror, will it again reflect? Okay, yes, Faizan, scattering of light के बारे में question पूछना है तो हम scattering of light देखेंगे. Okay, आज dispersion of light पढ़ेंगे. Okay, great. So can you see, can you tell me like reflection फिर से होगा या नहीं होगा? फिर से होगा, right? Have you ever been to the different place having the multiple mirrors in the room? Or have you, you can also think about the salon or the barber shop having the mirrors on the multiple wall. तो उधर कैसे reflection होता है? Infinite images will be made. Very good. Yes, Faizan, exactly. So you can see the number of images of yours, right? If you see, you can, I guess this type of thing you have already seen in the barber shop, right? Or the salon, right? For the haircut, to look after at the back of the haircut. You have seen this? Yes. So the multiple mirror में क्या होता है? It actually, when the incident ray come to it and just reflecting back to one mirror, it is going to another mirror which is placed just in front of it, and again this reflected ray will now become the incident ray for the next reflection, and this one will be the reflected ray too. If I just signify if I just give them the different names, so this one is the incident ray, this one is the reflected ray, so this one is the R1, so that is the first reflected ray. This one will be the R2, this is the second reflected ray. Again striking over here in the next mirror, again if I find the normal over here, again it will reflect back as R3. Okay, so like this the zigzag formation of the multiple images will take place over here. Okay, so we will get a lot of number of images together. Okay, that will be infinite number of images will be formed, and this implies a reflected ray can be reflect again and again. Clear hai? Yes, up to this much I guess clear. Okay, now you can also observe the same formation of the multiple image. You can make the multiple mirrors at your home. You can keep them one in front of another, and if you place any object in between, then the reflection will take place again and again. You can see at home also. Clear hai? Just for an example, if you put the like candle over here, one which will act as the object, and if you see in between the multiple mirror, you will find infinite images of the candle. Okay, so this is the phenomena. Now let us move on to a very interesting thing, that is the kaleidoscope. Okay, so have you ever played with the kaleidoscope? Yes, I love it. I love to see the patterns in which they form in the kaleidoscope. Okay, so what is this kaleidoscope? It is the optical instrument with two or more reflecting surfaces tilted to each other in an angle. We can take a lot, like we can take the three mirrors like this and place like this with the help, matlab in the form of a triangle. Okay, and we can put some of the colors, the sparkles, or we can put some of the like broken bangle pieces also over there, and we can make this kaleidoscope. Okay, so what will happen, it will form this beautiful different patterns due to the reflection. Okay, so let us now find out how to make this kaleidoscope at home. Okay, so over here the main funda is that you can take the rectangular mirror strips over like this. So mirror strips can be of like 15 centimeter long and 4 centimeter wide. It depends upon you. Like this is an average length and breadth which is given, so you can take these strips of mirror. Now join them together, which like a triangle over here, like you can see. Okay, the opaque side will be outside and the mirror reflection will be inside. Okay, so fix them in a circular cardboard then. Okay, take a cardboard tube and fix them within that, and make sure that the tube is slightly longer than that of the mirror strips. Right, now close one end of the tube by the cardboard disc and make a small hole in the center so that you can see through it. Okay, so that you can observe it. Okay, and to make the disc for a, like to keep it for a long period of time, just cover everything with a transparent plastic sheet so that it will stay for a long period of time. Clear hai? Now at the other end, touching the mirror, fix a circular plain glass. Okay, a glass plate you have to take. Now on the glass plate, give some of the pieces of the colored glass or the broken glass you can take, or you can take some of the broken pieces of the colored bangles or some of the sparkles. Okay, so you can get a lot of thing like this. Okay, so just spread over it. Okay, and now close the other end above it with a ground glass plate. Okay, and be very much careful about it that there must be some enough space for the different colored piece to like move around over there. Okay, so that the pieces will move and it will form the different patterns. Clear hai? So this is how the kaleidoscope can be made at home. You can make it. Okay, and when you will just move it like this, rotate it, and you will see, you will find the beautiful patterns within it. Okay, so to see the different beautiful patterns, you can use the bright color of the bangle pieces and all. Okay, so this is how you will be able to find out and you can enjoy the various patterns of the kaleidoscope. Clear hai? So this also follows the principle of reflection of light. Clear? Now, let's move on to the last topic of discussion. So that is, what is the color of the sunlight? Yes, if Faizan, you have already asked me, we will mainly focus on the dispersion of light now. So what is the color of sunlight? Anybody? Yes? Yes, this is the white light, right? Okay, we can see that the sunlight actually has the white light. But if you just make it through a prism, okay, so what will you see? You will see the 7 different colors, which we call as the Vibgyor. Okay, so the sunlight generally it consists of the 7 different colors, right? Now, have you seen any white light which is passed through the prism? They split into the different colors. Have you seen them? This phenomena is known as the dispersion of light. Okay, so the splitting of the sunlight or the splitting of the white light into the 7 constituent colors is known as the dispersion of light. Clear hai? So what are the 7 colors? They in short are known as the Vibgyor. Let us move on to the previous slide and show you the 7 different colors. Okay, you can see violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. So these are the 7 colors which are formed when you will just make the sunlight to go through a prism. Clear hai? This is the same phenomena how the rainbow is formed. Have you ever seen the rainbow? Can you tell me in which season generally we see the rainbow most? During the rainy season, yeah, when there is a bright light in the sky, bright sunlight, and just after the rain we can see the rainbow. Do you know why it happens? Because of the very tiny droplets which are present in the atmosphere that acts as a prism, and through which the sunlight, when comes to the earth surface, when we can see from the earth surface the sunlight, we see that the 7 different colors of the rainbow. Okay, so this is the same, this actually follow the same phenomena, that is the dispersion of light. When the sunlight falls through this very small like water droplets in the atmosphere, it actually splits the 7 color. It is splitted into the 7 color, or we can say dispersion of light takes place to form the rainbow. Okay, so this is all as we have studied in this session. So this is all for today's session. I guess you have already understood whatever we have discussed. If you have any question, you can ask me in the chat box. So let us now solve some of the question answers. Fine. So my first question, as you already can see in the screen, that what do you mean by diffuse reflection? We have already studied about the regular reflection and the diffuse reflection. So what do you mean by diffuse reflection? Let me see who can give me the correct answer first. Yes, Ridhima. Yeah. Okay. The diffuse reflection is the reflection where the parallel rays of the the incident rays, when strike and go back, means reflect from the different surface, they are not parallel, right? Because of the rough surface, and the reflection, this type of reflection is known as the diffuse reflection. Clear hai? Now, coming to what is an illuminated object? Yes. Let me see who can give me the answer. Yes, Anugraha. Yes. The illuminated objects are those objects which cannot emit their own light, but it shines due to the other object's light. Okay, so this type of objects are known as the illuminated object. For example, you can give the example of moon, right? Okay. Now my third question is, the stars are a luminous object. This statement is true or false? Yes. Are the stars luminous object? Yes or no? Yes, stars are the luminous object. It is the true statement. Why it is luminous? Because they have their own light, or they emit their own light. That is why the stars are the luminous object. Coming to the next question, how many images of a candle can be formed if it is placed between the two parallel plane mirrors separated by 30 centimeter? If you place the two parallel plane mirror where there will be a 30 centimeter gap like this, so how many images of the candle will be formed? Yes, it will be infinite number of images will be formed, right? Because it will strike the reflected ray zigzag manner again and again in the two mirror, like I have already shown you the image, right? Now coming to the next question, what is kaleidoscope? Yes, the beautiful patterns which we see in the kaleidoscope. Can you tell me? Yeah, what is the kaleidoscope? It is the device or the optical instrument which we can say which having the two or more reflecting surfaces which are tilted to each other in the different angles, right? You can make the kaleidoscope at home also, like it sometimes the triangular in shape and they reflect the different like the different small pieces, right? So they form the different patterns by reflection. Okay. Now coming to the next question, what is the phenomena of the dispersion of light? Define the phenomena of the dispersion of light. Yeah. What is the dispersion of light? It is the splitting of the sunlight or splitting of the white light into the 7 constituent colors, and that is known as the dispersion of light when it passes through the prism. Clear? Okay. Now the seventh question is the images are formed as a result of what type of reflection? Regular reflection or diffuse reflection? Yes, the images are always formed due to the result of regular reflection. Clear? Okay, now let us give you some more idea about the kaleidoscope. So these are very interesting facts that Sir David Brewster was the inventor of the kaleidoscope. In 1816, he found the idea to make the tiny telescope, and his idea actually came from the telescope he had used to see the stars. Okay, so now you have got an idea who first discovered the kaleidoscope. Now, this name kaleidoscope comes from the Greek word, the three Greek words kalos, eidos, and scopios, which means beautiful form. And that is why we can see the beautiful patterns through the kaleidoscope, right? And coming to the third, if you read about the psychology of the color, the concept they use to explain comes from the kaleidoscope, and it's beautiful with the colorful painting. Nowadays we can see that the mandala art, it seems to be the same types of like the patterns which are formed in the kaleidoscope, right? Okay, so I guess if you have no question till now, you have understood everything, right? Yes. So let us see what we have already studied in today's session. We have recalled the concept of the reflection. We have recalled the laws of reflection. Then we have studied about the regular and the irregular reflection, how it happens in the different surfaces. Then we have studied about the luminous and the non-luminous objects. Then the multiple images, how they are formed. Okay, then we have studied about the kaleidoscope, and finally the dispersion of the light. Okay, that is the color of the sunlight. Okay, so these are the topic of discussion which we have already discussed in today's session. So we will again meet in the next session. So thank you for being with us. If you have any question, any doubt, you can write it in the chat box. I'll definitely clear all your doubts. And please be with us, be with Swiflearn. Subscribe our channel on YouTube. Press the bell icon so that you will never miss any of the updates of the upcoming sessions. So stay with Swiflearn, stay with us, learn with us, and like, comment, and share with your friends and family members. So we will again meet in the next session. Till then, bye bye.